What's up, YouTube? On this video I'm going to be talking about the DJS-1000, how to use your 64 seconds that it can record, the max. How to use your 64 seconds without having to worry about hitting it on time. You know how it is. You're playing this one, what if you don't hit it on time? This happens. So you want your 64 seconds to play in perfect timing without having to mess around down here too much either. You just want it to play just like that as soon as it hits. So let's say, for example, I want to do a set at 120 BPM. So I got my deck set at 120, and I want, you know, to do a little action going on here with my 64 seconds, make a mix within the unit. Let's say have an acapella beat, whatever it is, 64 seconds, right? You want to play it out, use the max out of it. So in order to do that, you got to take, you say the set's at 120 BPM, you divide it by 8. You divide 120 by 8. That's the magic number here, 8. So get your calculator if you don't know how to divide. I'm going to get mine right here. I know how to divide, but I just wanted to show. 120 divided by 8 is going to give you 15. 15 is the BPM you're going to set your DJS to. 15 beats per minute. And note that your DJS won't go down here to 15. The lowest it goes is 60. You can bring it down to 60 and then deal with it over here. Or you can leave it the same way. Well, I'll leave it down to 60 and I'll bring this one down to 15, which is the number that it gave me. A 120 divided by 8. So I'm going to bring it down to 15 right here. And I have already 64 seconds of a sample here. That's 64 seconds. And as you can see down here, I'm going to play the full 64 seconds. So basically one bar is going to be a quarter of it. 2 bars is going to be half of it. 3 bars is a third of it. And 4 is the full 64, the full seconds. So I'm going to go ahead and play it. And you'll see that it's going to play slowly. It's going to go by really slow. Because I have it at 15 BPM. So it's going to give enough time to play the full, you know, sampled track during the playback. See? Look how slow it's moving. We're at the second bar now. See how slow it's going? Third bar. Fourth bar. And by the way, that track right there is 12-inch gold. Pablo, Rinse, Bobby Rock. There it is. Full 64 seconds played out. So now you know. Divided by 8, use your 464, and while it's playing, once it goes over that first hit right there, that's so you can always have it in time. You can go ahead and set this on. I had it on mute. That's why you didn't hear anything, but it was already marked. Now you don't want to have it marked. You want to mark it after it goes through that hit. So this is my first track, and once it passes that, then you can go ahead and hit that one out. So when the full 64 comes in, then that one will start automatically in time. As long as you have it set over here in your sample right here in time. And the way to check that out, to see if you have them both even, nice and synced up really good, the way to check that out is have it prepared ahead of time. You go ahead and, let's say, alright, they're both gonna play now when I hit it. Yeah, they're pretty well synced right now. They're both playing. So now you got that. You do the same thing for the next track, the next track, the next track. Have it all nice and all 16 tracks synced out really good. So that way you don't, you don't be stumbling and fumbling and train wrecking during the whole mix. So you have that all nice and set. And then once you have it set, that's it. You just unmark it, your sequence, and play them one by one. So you're gonna go ahead, hit that right there. Once you hit that, I'm gonna start bringing this one in. Then on this first one, what you could do at the end, when it's coming to the end, you could filter it and let the other one come in. I just picked 2 random tracks. They might not match as well, but you know what I mean? You can. Alright, let's go ahead. I'm gonna leave it like that. The other one's gonna come in right after that, right? And meanwhile, we're gonna look at it. We're gonna look at see how far it's going. We're on our 4th bar now. Here we go. The other one kicked in already. And it's good to leave it, filter it out or something, because if the beats don't match that well, like these two right here, they're not all that great as far as matching. It's good to leave it there because you can filter it. Now, if you know you have a real nice cut where it goes, you know, you're gonna have that break. Bam! Right when the drop comes in, well, you can take it out. Well, if you know it's gonna do that because you have it prepared for that already, you can take it out. But in this case, I left it like filtering it out so the other one could just blend in like that. Now in another different case, what I would do was I would do this. I would let it play, right? And then as soon as I know it already hit, I can take it off, so it won't loop again over. And then as soon as it's done, the other one will play. That's what I would do if it was a nice, if it was the appropriate track for that. These two, mixing these two are not. I don't think it'll sound right like that. I don't think it'll sound good if I just cut this one off all of a sudden and leave the other one playing, because the other one is still playing too low. So then you're gonna have it, it's gonna do this, and it's gonna cut like that. So it won't sound that good. But on a track where you have that build up, and then right before it drops, you go ahead, you can cut it out, and the other one goes, comes in real good, smacks you in the face with it. So that's about it about the 64 seconds. Remember that magic number 8. Whatever your BPM is, divide it by 8. If your track set, if your set's gonna be at 125, divide it by 8. If it's gonna be 130 BPMs, divided by 8. If it's going to be 128, 8. The magic number is 8, and then whatever it gives you, divided by 8 is where you're going to set this at right here. That way you get that 64 seconds of tracks. And that'll be a good way to, to do nice good mashups. You can get an instrumental. Let's say you can do 4 acapellas, 4 regular just beats, and 4 songs, and maybe 4 other, 4 songs, and that has maybe some singing if you want it like that. I don't like using those too much. I'd rather have just like house beats and some acapellas and a couple of drops here in the bottom. Mix it up a little bit. Now the drops, you don't really need 64 seconds. You can do a 64-second build up, but that's a long ass build up. But they're there. I've heard them before. Start 64-second build up. But anyway, I'm gonna leave you guys with that. It's just a quick tip for people who didn't know. If you knew, you knew. If you don't know, now you know. I think it's a good idea. I started looking at that and I was like, wait a minute. I got 64 seconds and not all the time I'm hitting that shit in time, y'all. I'm not always hitting it on time, and I don't like when that happens. You don't want to piss DJ off because you're right here doing this, and then and it didn't come in time. You just didn't hit it in time, or you missed it and hit the wrong one. You know, that happens too sometimes. Sometimes you're getting in there and all of a sudden oh, that wasn't the track. Now you screwed that up. Well, instead of worrying about all that, just, hey, play it like if it was a CDJ or something. Just let it play. Let it play. Once you know that hit, I'm going right here, and I'm taking this one off, or leaving it on, whatever you want to do, just to mix it. If you're going to leave it on, have a filter. You can do 16 on this one, and if it don't give you a memory full, you can do 16 on this one. That might be the next video. I'm going to try to do a nice little set of 2 at least, because let's say it's a minute per pad, right? 64 seconds, but let's say it's a minute, just to round it up a little bit. You got 1 minute, 2 minutes, you got 16 minutes in this whole square right here. Then you go to scene 2, you got another 16 minutes. That's a 30-minute mix you can play out with just 2 scenes if it don't give you the memory full, which I'm gonna try to do that on the next video and just play out a mix there and see how it comes out. And see if I can get, that's a full 30 minutes, which ain't too bad. You can do a 30-minute set of, you know, have it ready. Like if you're gonna go ahead and play somewhere, you do, okay, I'm gonna do 30 minutes of, let's say, house. Then 30 minutes of, you can do hip hop if you want. You can do, you know, you can do Latin music. You can do, you know, EDM, dubstep, whatever you want to do. You can do a good 30 minutes if it don't give you the memory full. And if it don't give you a memory full, I'll go for 45. Let's see what happens. And if it don't give you memory, and 4 scenes, I'm pretty sure somewhere around the line. The most I've gotten my scenes, I think, was like 4 scenes, but they were at like 32 seconds. So I'll probably get 2 scenes out of it. So 30 minutes is good enough. I mean, that's a 30-minute mix right there, non-stop. Non-stop mix. And then you take it slow, you know, start bringing it down a little bit and getting other things. But if you can get like a few mixes already ready on this thing, and if, you know, then you're already set. You can play a little bit live. When you get tired, you can go ahead and hit this. And if this had an arranger, you can do it even better, because it'll do it automatically. Just hit play and it'll just, you know, you already had everything set up. So guys, I'm gonna let y'all go with that. I'll see y'all in the next video. Thanks for watching.